Well, hello everybody. I hope you are all well. As you may have seen from my last video, things aren't too good with me, but I just thought I'd do a nice, simple talking head video here. I don't think I've done this one in a living room in many months, so I just thought I'd give it to you unedited, everything. I've got notes here that I'll be referring to, and I'm going to go through essentially 4 key areas. And the 4 areas is what's happened, where I am, what is the injury, what this means for now, what I'm going to be doing now, how I cope, because obviously there's the mental side of this thing as well, which is quite difficult, and what happens next. So the 4 things, what happens next. So I was deeply touched by everybody's comments, both on my initial community post and also the video of the race, which was my first ever DNF. And for those who know what a DNF is did not finish. And yeah, you all agreed, I agree, it was the right thing to do. So what is the injury? Yes, it's Achilles injury. It's both legs, which is not good. And it's Achilles, I need to say this right, it's mid-Achilles tendinopathy. And for those of you who know your biology, science, I nearly said geography, all right, so I'll try and keep this light-hearted. Tendinopathy. And an opathy is something that is a bit more chronic and has taken a period of time to arrive, as opposed to an itis, like tendinitis. It's not Achilles tendinitis, which a number of you said you've had tendinitis. It's not that. Itis tend to be things that flare up very quickly, and then you can manage and bring it back down very quickly. An opathy, unfortunately, is something that's become chronic. It's taken a long time to get there, and I'll probably produce a video when I know more about it, because I will be going through various series of therapy workouts and so on. But it's an opathy, so it's going to take a while to get through this. Now, I've got to read a comment that was left. I'd love to read all your comments, but there's one that stood out, and I'll read it straight from the laptop. So, it's, how can I say, it's useful, and it's something that will hopefully help you guys as well as myself. And this is from P. Clark 41. As the saying goes, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. But for me, I'm just adding this little bit now. For me, I might make limoncello, being Italian, but no, lemonade. While it is always great to watch your content where you're qualifying for England Masters and nailing sub-19 park runs or sub-130 half marathons, this isn't what the vast majority of runners can ever hope to achieve. Content with you dealing with your injuries, working hard to recover, the mental side of recovery, trying not to catastrophic setbacks, etc. will also make great content, which we can all identify with. It's the last thing you want to be making, but when life gives you lemons, we make lemonade. Yeah, so thank you. I think it's Paul Clark, P. Clark 41. It makes sense. So I'm going to be producing content over the next few weeks, months, of how I'm dealing with this, because it has had a major setback to me. And I don't know how to really put it. I don't want to sugarcoat it. I'll just say how it is, and I want to be totally frank with you, even though my name's Donato. And I know a lot of you are very supportive, leaving comments, the thumbs up, liking, subscribing and all that jazz. It's fantastic. But maybe you will be able to relate to this, because a lot of you have said have been through Achilles injuries as well, other injuries. Leave it in the comments below how you've dealt with your injuries, whether they be short-term injuries or long-term injuries. Yeah. So that was the first point. That is what my injury is. Both Achilles tendinopathy, mid-Achilles tendinopathy, not good. So my second point is what happens for now? Well, basically now, what's happening is I'm doing my own rehab. I have been given a series of exercises that I'll be doing, going through that every day, or some of them it's every other day or 3 times a week, because it's quite aggressive on my body as such. So the thing with Achilles, and certain injuries, doing nothing is the last thing you want to be doing to help recovery. It's about active recovery and keeping it active. So for me, when I wake up in the morning, that's the worst time of day where the Achilles are hurting, aching, because I've been in bed for 6, 7, 8, 9 hours not moving. But as soon as I get flowing, get the blood flowing, they do feel better. It is painful just walking. So what the podiatrist has recommended to me is, and this ain't good news if you're hoping to see some races coming up, minimum 6 weeks of no running, and the walking is painful as well, so no walking either, which, as you know, if you know me, I love my running, I love my walking, so it's a major setback for me. How do I deal this mentally, physically, and all that? The hardest bit for me right now is how I fill the time. I still wake up at the usual times, wanting to go out for a run or go to the gym and do some kind of workouts or go for a walk, but that ain't happening. Which leads me on to the third thing of how I cope with this. For me, it's very much, and the race itself as well, I very, very reluctantly pulled out of that race. I really, I've never had a DNF. I've always battled through, walked it through. I have had that one marathon where at about 14, 15 mile where I walked the last 11 miles because there was no transport to take me back to the finish. So you could say that was technically a DNF, but I did walk to the finish and still finished it under 4 hours with a lot of walking. But that was more fatigue, tiredness, no injuries. That was just basically just running out of energy, hitting the wall and totally fatigued. So I think if I had this type of injury there, I would have really pulled out and had to have phoned for some help to get me off the course and take me back somewhere. So, but this is the first one I've had to step off. It was really hurting. And even before the race started, there was a niggle, and I did speak with Peter. I don't know if you're watching this, Peter, where he said, "Oh, what are you expecting to do?" And I did say, I hope I can finish, because I had some niggles working, and I'll go for a video coming up in terms of how this probably happened, lessons learned. And I have learned lessons from this. We always learn lessons, don't we? And I think injuries often are a part of what happens with running or in life, with anything. We have setbacks, and how we deal with it. For me, how I'm dealing with it is being in the moment, in the present, in the now, and just focusing on what I can do right here, right now. And right now, I feel that producing this video is a benefit to many hundreds of you, thousands, however many get to watch it, because it's not just the physical side, it is the mental side. And even this morning, I woke up feeling sorry for myself again. You can get down and not out, but feeling not good. Yeah, it's not good. Which leads me to the fourth final point of what next. Yeah, what next? I've just noticed it is recording. I was just trying to look to see how much time this has been recording. Where am I at? It doesn't seem to be showing the time. Oh yeah, it is. I've found a bit that's showing the time. Okay. I'm still okay. I haven't been dribbling on for hours and hours. So last but not least, what next? And as I said earlier, no running for 6 weeks. I'll be having some electroshock therapy once a week. Although I already had a holiday booked towards the end of this month, early next month, where I take the week off, and it was going to be a cutback week in marathon training. So that's how I planned that. Cutback week, rest, relaxation in the Lake District. Whether I stay there for a further week or I'll be up in West Yorkshire as well, I'll be taking time off. Although right now walking is painful as well. I can't do any of those multi-kilometre walk around the Malvern Hills, which is a real shame because I really enjoyed that as well. So I've lost running, I've lost walking, my two favourite things. I've not been on a bike. Some people have suggested getting on a bike. I'd love your suggestions below what I can do in terms of keeping fit, raising my heart level. I have spoke to a number of experienced runners who've been through long-term injuries and how they kept their fitness up, and suggested things like swimming, aqua running, cycling, all that type of stuff. So leave in the comments below what suggestions you have in terms of keeping my fitness up, because I do have a high level of fitness and it does slowly diminish. It doesn't disappear overnight, but I need to be mindful as well of not coming back too early, which leads me what I've unfortunately reluctantly had to do for all the races coming up. You know, this coming Sunday, I was due to do the Black Pair Joggers Midsummer Run. I can't remember exactly what it's called. It's going to be fancy dress. I was going to be dressed up as a superhero and running with Mac. We were going to be a team of two fast and furious. Yeah, the two of us. And it was going to be, you know, multi-lap relay type race. That's 100% off. The Pitchcroft 10K next week, off. I ain't doing that. And reluctantly, all of the races in September, I will have to cancel, or as someone phrased, postpone. So Great North Run isn't happening. The Worcester City Run isn't happening. And the Berlin Marathon isn't happening. There's just not enough time, as this is a running injury. This time last year I had surgery and I hadn't injured my body physically. I didn't have any running injuries, so I just had to wait for my guts and intestine to recover. So I was able to get back to running relatively quickly. This one's going to be a slow progression to get back to running, and as P. Clark 41 mentioned, you know, I don't want any catastrophic returns, which you may have seen some other content creators do. Especially at my age of 62, I need to be very mindful and careful of coming back gradual. Now, you may recall that I am doing the Camino to Santiago. That was down end of September, beginning of October. Right now, the podiatrist said I can't do that either. I shouldn't do that. I'm remaining hopeful that I will be doing that. I think I can manage that because it's not till the end of September, so that gives me over 2 months of recovery. I should be able to walk, but the thing is, because it's distance walking, long distances every day, that might trigger the Achilles again. But that's something I'll be tracking week on week, and that's something I'll be updating you guys with. So please do, if you want to cheer me up in some way, the link below to the Camino for Prevent Breast Cancer. I don't want to let those people down. I really don't want to let them down. So I'd really appreciate support for that. So that sums up this video. As I said, I think I've covered everything on the notes here. Yeah, 6 weeks out, no running, not much walking either. I mean, walking to and from the gym is painful enough, but I'm doing things. I can't even do the elliptical where it's sort of feeling sore on the Achilles. So I'm doing rowing at the moment to get my heart rate up. I might try some indoor cycling and we'll take it from there. So not good news, but as I say, I'm pretty open and frank, and I've loved some of the comments where people have said that I'm a rare YouTuber who's honest and says it how it is. So, you know, that's how it is, unfortunately. As I said, totally frank, even though my name's Donato. I try and keep a bit light-hearted about it all and keep the humour, because humour can help us keep going. And I know a lot of you guys right now are going through some setbacks and injuries. We're all in this together in some way, and I'd love to hear from you guys. So that's all that remains for me to say. I'm very hopeful that we'll continue to go onwards and upwards. I'd like to give some hope to you guys out there, because compared to how it was Sunday, right now I'm recording this on the Thursday, I have seen minor improvements each day. So it has been getting better. So I'm not in so much pain walking to the gym to do my workouts there. So it is getting less painful to walk that distance. It's not that far, you know, barely a kilometre to get there, but it is, I can feel the Achilles and calves hurting there. So not a good one, not a kind of video I wanted to make or produce, but as I say, when life gives you lemons, let's make some limoncello. Take care, guys, and I'll see you at the next video where I'll be updating you and showing you what I do instead of running, and hopefully it'll keep us all motivated and inspired to continue, because whatever you are, whatever we do, we want to keep running, but sometimes we can't, and it's how we deal with that at that moment. Thank you so much. Gotta go. Bye, bye, bye. Love you all.